Title: Forever After the Vows. Story: Ravi and Anaya's marriage was arranged by their families in a quiet ceremony in Delhi. They were both from respectable families, educated, well-mannered, and obedient. But while everything looked perfect from the outside, the beginning of their married life was far from a love story. Ravi was a reserved man, deeply dedicated to his IT job, not expressive with emotions, and often lost in spreadsheets and client calls. Anaya, on the other hand, was full of warmth. She loved literature, flowers, and small gestures of affection. Their personalities clashed. Conversations often died mid-sentence, and the silence between them grew louder by the day. Anaya would try to cook Ravi's favorite dishes, hoping to spark a smile, but he rarely noticed. Ravi, buried in work pressure, often came home late, barely noticing how Anaya sat alone waiting for him with 2 cups of tea going cold. Months passed. The emotional distance made them strangers under the same roof. One evening, Anaya decided she couldn't live in a marriage where she felt invisible. She wrote a letter to Ravi, not to leave him, but to share her truth, her loneliness, her hopes, and her fading belief in love. She placed the letter on his desk and went to bed with tears in her eyes. Ravi came home late again that night and found the letter. For the first time, he read her pain, not in her eyes, but in her words. He realized he had been physically present but emotionally absent. He had failed to see her silent efforts, her unspoken sacrifices, and her yearning for companionship. The next morning, for the first time, Ravi woke her up with breakfast. He didn't say much, but his actions were different. He took a day off, asked her about her favorite books, helped her water the plants, and simply sat beside her. From that day on, change came slowly but steadily. They started going on evening walks. Ravi began leaving small notes for Anaya, sometimes funny, sometimes poetic. Anaya, surprised but overjoyed, started writing short stories again, something she had stopped doing after marriage. Their bond grew not from grand romantic gestures, but from understanding, acceptance, and the decision to try every single day. Years later, they sat together watching the sunset on their terrace. Anaya looked at Ravi and said, "I used to believe love was fireworks, but now I know it's the warmth of a quiet evening spent with you." Ravi smiled, held her hand, and whispered, "Love begins after the vows are made, not before." Moral of the story: marriage isn't the end of a love story, it's the beginning of one. True love in marriage is not about perfection or constant romance, but about choosing each other through patience, growth, and silent acts of care. It's not always about how you fall in love, but how you stay in love.